Well, howdy do everyone, and welcome back to the ranch. Yes, I know, when you see one of my videos start off with coyotes doing the moonwalk, you know you're in for a bumpy ride because it usually just kind of goes downhill from here. But nevertheless, it's really good to have you here today. Good to see you folks. Thank you so much for taking the time to stop by for a little visit. I hope the world's treating you well, and I hope the weather is too. Our weather is kind of drying up just a little bit, and that's kind of a good thing because we've had a whole lot of this. And a whole lot of this, which caused a whole lot of this. You'll notice that's a whole lot more water coming over that dam than it was in the last video. And also a whole lot of this. This is our little middle dam. It's flooding too. And finally, the third dam. Yep, same story here. So we've had a lot of rain. The grasses are all green and growing like crazy, and the mosquitoes are beyond comparison. And before I forget it, while we're talking about being down at the dam, a lot of y'all will remember I showed you this app that I bought last year, and it's called Picture This, and it identifies plants and trees and grasses and things like that. But I found this particular plant right here. I have never seen it on the ranch before, and it is really picking up steam. It's growing like crazy down on the creek, and evidently from what Picture This says about it, it's called the common button bush, and named for little balls on it that look like buttons. I personally have no clothes that have buttons that look like little green balls on them, but maybe you do. If you do, I don't mean to step on any fashion toes here. But anyway, just thought I'd throw that in there for you horticulture guys. Onward through the fog here, I meet this little guy almost daily. He started coming up. I take a walk just about sunset, and it takes me about 30-45 minutes to get it all done. And this little guy, I take the same path every day, and this little guy has been coming out almost daily to meet me here, and he's almost as curious about me as I am about him. I don't know, I haven't tried to see how close I can get to him before he runs away. I'm just letting him see how close he wants to get to me, but I've gotten pretty darn close to the little guy, but he's pretty cute. The first day that he came out, he came up to me probably about 10 feet from me, and I looked at him and I said, "Well, hello, little fella." I said, "I guess your name's probably Jack." And he looked at me and he said, "Oh yeah, aren't you Matt's dad?" Okay, granted, that was a little tongue-in-cheek humor for the people from Homemade Everything, the original guys there, the OGs, if you will. Mark's homies will appreciate that little bit of humor there. But anyway, like I said, it's downhill from here. We're going downhill. Don't expect this video to get any better, okay? All right, so here we go. Well, folks, continuing our downward slide on this video right here. If you'll remember, over the last few videos, we've been talking about the white-tailed deer, the does especially, just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Well, now they are quite rotund, and you can tell just by looking at them. They're hot, they're very irritated, they're tired. After enduring 200 days of pregnancy, and I guess it's probably the same thing. Honey, go get me some pickles and ice cream, you know. And then just their husbands, who obviously can't do anything right. But you know, the good thing about it is, after all this uncomfortableness that they're having to go through, their patience is rewarded with the following little miracles. So I put you a little video together for all these little wild and crazy babies too, and I hope you like it. And folks, the little baby that I got the close-ups on, the ones where I'm really, really close up to him, his mama is a fairly tame doe, and she comes by the house every day. We see her out her kitchen window 2 or 3 times a day. She just comes by. And this was the first baby that was born. Her baby was the first one born on the ranch. And we know that because I've got all the game cameras up, and we've been able to tell when the baby started, and hers was the first one. And she brought him by. Those close-ups were taken on day one. She brought him by, and about 50 feet from the house, she put him down there in some grass, and she left. And she went off and grazed for a couple of hours and then came back and picked the little dude up. That gave me a chance to go over and take some pictures of him. He didn't even try to get up and run away. And if you ever find yourself in that same situation, do not touch the baby. Honestly, this doe's got a level of trust with us. Other ones out in the wild wouldn't, so it's best if you see a baby like that, just get away from him. Your first inclination is to pick him up, that his mama abandoned him. But in 99.9% of the cases, she's somewhere within 100 yards and she's watching you. So don't mess with the baby, especially don't touch him and get your scent on the baby, because she may not, especially if she's a first-time mama, she may not take him back. So anyway, I hope you liked all the little babies. We are really having a kick watching them. The grandkids were out here the other day, and they were just laughing and having a big time watching all the little baby deer run around. And we will be able to watch this little one grow because his mama has been bringing him by every day. And folks, this next segment of our downward spiraling video falls under the auspices of kindness. We talk about kindness a lot on this channel. And you folks talk a lot about kindness in the comment section too, and I would encourage you to continue doing just that. I was thinking the other day about my heroes and realizing the fact that all of my heroes seem to have a great level of kindness in them as well. My heroes, like political heroes, probably Thomas Jefferson would be my biggest hero, and though a very stern man and a warrior and such, he was a very kind man. He had a good heart, and he took care of the country. He took care of all of our people. A great statesman. As far as sports heroes are concerned, David Robinson is without a doubt my hero in professional sports. One of the most wonderful, caring, philanthropic people you could ever meet. Great guy. I met him in a barbecue joint one day, and it's like I just bumped into an old high school buddy. Very common and down-to-earth kind of a guy, but huge too. But other heroes, my musical heroes, Paul McCartney, also another philanthropist who's donated millions of dollars to help people in need, and just a kind, peace-loving soul. There's also other people, Martin Luther King. You already know he's one of my great heroes, and all he wanted was for everyone to live in peace. Beyond that, we get down to, like my dad, in my mind, the greatest human that ever walked the face of the earth, human. And beyond my father, Jesus Christ. And those are some of my most favorite and precious heroes. But I'd like to introduce you to my newest hero today. And this is him right here, this young gentleman. He's 8 years old. His name is Maurice Adams Jr. He lives in Georgia, and he recently became a splash on the internet for an act of kindness, a random act of kindness. Seems that young Maurice and his mom were driving to school one day, and Maurice started hollering, Mom, stop the car, pull the car over, let me out, I need the help. And sorry, there's mosquitoes out here like crazy. And so his mom pulled the car over, and young Maurice jumped out of the car, and here's what he did. So yes, that qualifies this young man as a hero in my book. And when people start talking about this new generation and everything's going to hell in a handbasket, you can bring up Maurice and show them this video. It's pretty easy to find. But Maurice, I would love to meet Maurice and shake his hand. But more importantly, I would like to meet his parents and shake their hand and let them know how much I appreciate them, because this, my friends, is pure parenting. That can only come from one place, and that is teaching your children well. And they have obviously done a great exemplary job with Maurice. So the world has got Maurice going for it, so we are in good shape. It's interesting, Maurice received a lot of gifts. One guy in particular gave him $100. That you can see that online too. Give him $100 bill. And it's interesting. Someone asked Maurice, they said, what's the best gift you got out of all this, Maurice? And at 8 years old, Maurice said, the best gift I got was when we got to the top of the steps, I got a hug. So we need to be watching this guy. I think he would make an excellent president. Maurice Adams Jr., God bless you. Well, folks, that's about it from out here on the ranch today. Once again, thank you so much for stopping by. You know, like I said, it means so much to me, and I hope you get a lot out of it as well. I do have some concerns, and that is a lot of folks have left comments over the last few videos about having a lot of problems going on, problems within their own families, problems with finances, and then of course all the illnesses and all the lost loved ones we have and all the heartbreak that's going on. And so I'm going to throw one more video in here, and this is for all of you that are having a hard time right now. I'd like for you to watch it. It's from one of your old favorite friends, and it's an encouraging one, and I hope it helps. Thanks again for stopping by. God bless you all. I'd like for you to always remember I love you, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye. Yeah, it's hard to imagine that almost 104, you're kind of starting a single man's life all over again.
Exactly. And living by myself. And
yeah, I know it's emotionally traumatizing to deal with someone with Alzheimer's and dementia, and especially when it's your bride.
yes,
And
very hard.
we've had so many of our subscribers leave comments on our videos that they've been through the same thing, and I'm sure you've probably been able to feel their prayers, because they've been thinking good thoughts for you and your wife, and also praying for you a lot too. So they really they've really been doing their part to try to keep our spirits up. So
Yes, I hope they'll just keep on praying, because that's the main thing we got, and
yeah,
that's what sees us all through these problems.
yeah,
And it's a little bit rough on me at my age to start a new life, but if that's the way the Lord wants it, that's the way He wants it, we'll do it.
we will do whatever we have to do, won't we?
We'll do it, you
Yeah.
bet.
He will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and death will be no more. Neither shall there be mourning, nor crying, nor pain anymore, for these former things have passed away. That, my friend, is God's word to you and me. Please believe it. So what you doing there, Al?
Neutering a dog, Dad.
All right. Who's going to learn you?
That's a mistake.
Hey.
Having fun?
Mm-hmm.
What you doing up in that tree, you monkey?
I don't really know right now, actually.
Maybe I should say, what are you doing up in that tree in the rain?
Making a deer stand, Dad,
Making a deer stand.
for the deer to stand in.
That's right. Don't want them to get their feet wet when the creek rises.
They've been having to sit on the ground.